how's it going, guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is George Yuman and I'm your friendly neighborhood anime and manga fan. I love all things anime and all things manga, and I'm here today to talk about Chainsaw Man chapter 212. So, what did I think about this week's chapter? So, if I had to describe this chapter in a single word, that word would be freaky. And not just freaky, extremely freaky. Which, hey, I'm all for, alright? But in all seriousness, I thought this chapter was great. We got the reintroduction of a character that hadn't shown up in the story for a while now. So it was great to see them back and pretty much talk to Denji. As well as we had to see Denji's reaction, the big aftermath of Little D's big reveal last chapter, which was great. As well as we get some implications of what Denji's choice might be going forward, whether it's going to be fighting the Death Devil or is it going to be fighting the War Devil. So we get some implications at least. But yeah, now before I go any further with this chapter, I just want to give you guys a quick reminder to make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel so you guys can be up to date with all my Chainsaw Man as well as all my anime and manga content in the near future. It really helps out a lot, and I would really appreciate it if you guys could subscribe to my YouTube channel. So if you guys could, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Now with all that out of the way, let's talk about this week's chapter. So this week's chapter starts off right where we left off last one, which was pretty much Denji being flabbergasted by looking at Fami's underwear. My man is extremely like glued on. He's like, full on gooning mode, And as we see Sugo pretty much saying like, hey, I'm so glad that you caught up with everything, you're caught up to speed. So we got 3 plans, all right? So here's the 3 plans we're going to do going forward. And as he's telling Denji all of this, Denji's just focused and concentrated on Fami's underwear. My man, or should I say Little D's underwear, my bad. We see that he's just glued on to her. And we see that Sugo's like, all right, you got it, right? Like, cool. So like, yeah, you got the plan. Everything's good. All right. Let's get this ready. Obviously you need some rest. Like, feel free to go to the nurse's office and we'll let you know when this plan is ready to go. Just catch your breath, get some rest, you'll be fine. And as Denji's doing that, he's like, he goes to the nurse's office. He's laying down in the bed. He's like, so like, I didn't hear anything he said. You see this inner monologue where Denji's like, I was kind of like too focused on like, looking at Fami's underwear, And then we see Denji just like start gooning. Like, my man is extremely gooning. We see that my man is just like thinking about, Yoru and him making out. You see the imagery of him looking at Fami, Little D underwear. And we see that pretty much he's just like, horny. My man is extremely horny. I get it. He has to rub one out. He even says like, should I really be doing this in the nurse's office? And I was just thinking the whole time, I was like, is Fujimoto going to do I just kept thinking, is Fujimoto going to do like a Evangelion reference? For anybody that knows what I mean by that, you guys know, But thankfully it does not happen. What we see is Denji's like, oh man, I really want to crank one out. And then we get the return of Fumiko just being like, you want some help with that? And she's under Denji's bed. And I was like, where did you just come? I was like, what in the world? This was hilarious, man. I was like, I got like a jump scare watching her. I was like, wait, whoa, what? Fraud Miko is back? The fraud herself? Yeah, she's back. And not just back, we get to pretty much see a lot of her backstory, at least. Apparently, we get to see that Denji's like, wait, what are you doing here? She's like, listen, don't freak out. Just listen to what I have to say. And she's like, hey, do you really trust this Death Devil? She's obviously manipulating you. And Denji's like, what of it, man? And she's like, listen, you think like she's gonna like actually fix everything? Like, no, you shouldn't be trusting her. I think you should be like actually going against her, because what if you teaming up with her to defeat the War Devil is what makes the prophecy come true of the mankind being destroyed. And then she pretty much gives herself some because she's like, yeah, I've been killed many times by the death, so like I know all about death and all that. And then she's like, wait, what do you mean you've been killed multiple times? She's like, yeah, you see. And this week we get to see a big revelation from Fumiko's part. And I was like, once she tells me her devil contract, I was like, all right, Fujimoto, my man is really creative, because I would have never guessed that her devil contract was this. And here, wrap your minds around this, guys. Her devil contract, as she explains, she got this devil contract at the age of 14. And what her contract does is that anytime she has sexual intercourse with anybody, they themselves will become Fumiko in both body and mind. And let me just say specifically what devil she has. She has the STD devil. So I was like, oh my god, this girl is for the streets. Now it makes so much sense why she was all down to like smash Denji, even previously in the story. She was all for it. She was like, you want to smash? You want to do this? Because she was like, she was gonna eventually like be a parasite, like an STD, and like infect him. So we see that that's how her contract works. And she goes even farther, saying that, you know, apparently she smashed people all over the world. So she has like agents, little Fumikos running around, like vessels of herself. If you guys want like a similar comparison, it would be, I guess, like Makima with her contract, how she, like, if she were to die, someone else dies instead. That would be my closest recollection of how her power similarly works. Because if somebody dies, like if she were to be killed, one of the other Fumikos can take the hit. And she's saying that because Denji's like, well, why don't you just like, why are you so afraid? He's like, well, you see, a lot of my other copies have been destroyed because, you know, the aftermath is going on right now between the War Devil, and not even that. She goes on saying like, you know, the world of humans is being killed by each other because like, there's wars everywhere. And she's like, listen, what's so bad about war? Okay, war is always eternal. So like, you should actually like instead focus yourself on like, you know, killing the Death Devil, because maybe being immortal is actually great. Because she's like, listen, don't you want to like live happily? Like don't you think humans like should be like eternally like immortal and just like live happily and stuff? And they're just like, man, I don't know, man, you're kind of yapping. And she pretty much says like, listen, why do you think that she, Yoru, the War Devil herself, that she wants to turn you into a weapon? Why do you think she hasn't done it up to this point? And this is where pretty much Fumiko just straight up says it, what we all been thinking. It's like, listen, it's obviously that she loves you, duh. That's why she hasn't turned you into a weapon. And then just like, what? And he's all flabbergasted, like, no way. And this Fumiko's like, yeah, dude, obviously she loves you. Otherwise she would have turned you into a weapon in an instant. So here's the deal. Like, if she doesn't turn you into a weapon, then perhaps that's how you won't, like, you guys need to defeat the Death Devil. She just keeps gaslighting, like, the Death Devil is the bigger threat, I guess. She's like all about like, you know, be like, look out for humanity. Like, you know, we got to do this, is what's best for us. And she's like saying pretty much like, if you defeat the Death Devil, think about it. You could hypothetically live in a big immortal life with your beloved War Devil, you know, with Asa and Yoru. You could be with them for the rest of eternity. It ain't so bad, is it now? And then just like kind of like, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. And we see that Fumiko's like, I'll tell you what. I'm gonna go. You think about it. Don't say anybody that I was here. But before I go, I gotta give you something very important. And Denji's like, what? And she hands him over a picture. And then she's like, what is this? Like, it's a picture of me nude. And I was like, what? And she was just like, yeah, here you go. Help yourself. Something for memory. And I was like, oh my God, she is in some streets. She's as a wise man, you know, the big rapper Future would say, she's for the streets. All right, she's for the streets. If she's for the streets, don't you worry. Like, you know the lyrics. Is she for the streets, bro? Don't mess with her. Denji, I was like, holy crap. So, unfortunately, Fumiko apparently has infected other people, so those people are screwed for the rest of their life. All I'm saying is this, man. As terrible as Fumiko is, we cannot lie. She has a crazy body, all right? I'm just saying. That nude picture, that outline, I was like, okay, Fujimoto, I see what you're doing. She got the hourglass physique, you know? But in all seriousness, it was overall, I thought it was a great chapter. I thought it really showcased the struggle that's going on in the world right now, where pretty much Fumiko explains to us just how the war keeps escalating and escalating, not necessarily because of Yoru herself, but because mankind wants to like destroy each other. And we also see some pretty much second guessing from Denji's part, like, should I believe what Fumiko's saying? Should I not? You know, it's a big conflict. Like, should he team up with Asa and Yoru, or should he team up with the Death Devil, Little D? He has a lot of conflicts in his mind right now, as well as, you know, a big picture, literally, a picture of you know, he's picked the picture of Fumiko, but she's you know, nude. Will we see him you know, rub one out? I don't know. That's Fujimoto, man. We can you know, maybe in the next chapter he rubs it out. Who knows, man? You know, we'll never put it past him. But with all that being said, what did you guys think about this week's chapter? Did you guys love it? Did you guys hate it? Did you guys thought it was alright? Whatever you guys thought, let me know in the comment section down below. Also, thank you so much for staying all the way to the end of the video. I really appreciate it. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel for more Chainsaw Man, as well as more anime and manga content in the near future. But yeah, with all that being said, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.